Welcome back, guys. We are doing part 3 of our series of makeup techniques that can give us a little bit more of a youthful appearance. In part 1, we did brows. In part 2, we did eyes. And part 3 is going to be techniques that we use on the actual face to kind of help give the illusion of a little bit more of a lifted look. So I'm going to be using my cream contour to start. All the products that I am using are Seint products. They are all cream based. They come in one little compact. If you are interested in the color match, I'd be happy to help you. Just reach out below. I'm going to use the Contour Astoria. That's what I've been using, and I'm using the detail brush. I'm going to dip in with just this very small side. I'm not dipping in like this or on the side. I'm going to kind of go in diagonally like this and pick up some color. And I'm going to start with one area that I don't know if it bothers you, but it is really bothering me, and that is the jowls. Okay, we get this little drippy thing here. It's frustrating, but it is life, and that's okay. And the way we can kind of conceal it is by using contour to kind of hide it. So I take that product, it's just right there, and I just kind of start right here. Look, I mean, what happens here so quickly is insane. And I just kind of press it along there. And I'll do the same on this side. Do you see how that just already gave me such a more snatched jawline? I mean, it's incredible. And then you want to kind of you don't want to like totally brush and blend it away, because then what is the point? But we're just going to kind of push it in to blend it. Just make sure you don't forget to blend it, because that's, not a good look for anybody. And I also take it up here, right under the ear. So we kind of come into here and do that. Now I'm gonna go in flat into the contour. And if you are getting the little droopy part right here, it's so fun. You can just kind of do this right under here, and that will help give the illusion that your double chin, your gooseneck, whatever you like to call it, is receding. So magical. It's literally magical. All right, now when we do the cheeks, same thing. I'm going in on the angle side, and we're going to contour the cheeks. I should say that I already have like kind of my base makeup done now for the most part. When we do the cheeks, I like to start here where the ear meets the face, and we're going to come in at a diagonal line, and I stop at the outside of my eyeball, like the outside of my eye. Okay, you don't want to come in too far. You don't want to just be way out here, and we want to make sure, like with everything I've taught you so far, that we're going in this direction. So we always want to be pulling the face, lifting the face, giving the illusion that the face is headed like this and not like, okay? So we've dipped in. Find your cheekbone. So here's your cheekbone, my cheekbone. This is right under it. We want to go a little bit above the right under it. So if you go too low, you're not giving the illusion of this lifted cheekbone. I don't like to go super high because it just looks weird to me if you're not really under the cheekbone. Some people go like on the cheekbone. I guess for photographs that looks nice, but in person it seems weird to me. Contour is supposed to create shadows. So when somebody's like up on your face, your contour should be in the shadow. Otherwise it's going to be obvious. I hope that that makes sense. So I kind of just tap it into here. So that is the placement, see, lined up right where my eye ends and right reaches up here to my cheek, and we're going this direction. So we're headed in a good direction. And I want to keep that line thin. If it's thick, some people have their contour and this whole thing is very thick. It just, for me, I want to keep my face as bright and light as possible. I just personally find that more youthful. So I don't like the very wide contour. That is my preference. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna kind of flick it up for the blending. And you don't wanna blend it away. Like some people are like, they don't wanna see that. line, because if you're doing it before you're doing your bronzer and your blush and all of the things, it's obvious and it's a little scary. I get it. But, you know, we do still want to see it. We want to blend it in so it doesn't look like a sharp line. But if we blend it away, then what was the point? All right, up here on the forehead, I'm going to kind of just tap in flat again. And this is based on your forehead. If you have a very large forehead, then you want to do more contour. If you have a short forehead, you don't have to do contour at all. It is not like required. But I, you know, have a bit of a larger forehead. It's okay. It's fine. So I am just going to go in here and just kind of press that in, and I'm kind of just blending it as I'm doing it. Cream contours are so much more forgiving. I have been doing makeup for 20 years. They are so much more forgiving than powder. You can just move them more. You can erase them easier. You can like clean up if something looks too thick for you. You can clean it up easier than powders, and they just like melt into the skin. It's why I love Seint. It just like melts in and blends so beautifully, so easily. I'm just such a big fan. Now on the nose, I'm gonna do just that thin tapping again. And your nose contour is based on your nose, right? Some people have a larger end of the nose that they want to contour, and some people have a wider bridge that they want to contour. I like to tell people to kind of make sure you're running on the top of the nose, and not, if you run on the sides of the nose, what you end up doing is making it look wider. So if you have a very narrow nose, then that's what you should do. I like to be on top of my nose. And again, you can't feel this, but I'm being so light-handed when I do this. Just barely pressing that on. See how it gives that very snatched look? Here, I want to cut it in a little bit. And now I'm just going to tap it. And I like to really use my finger for this part, just to soften those edges. So I am now going to do a little bit of bronzer because I'm a bronzer kind of girl. I'm just using this brush, tapping into my Bella bronzer, and I want to add a little bit of warmth to my face. It is summertime right now, and I self-tan my body, but I do not self-tan my face. So bronzer is important to me so that it makes sure, you know, I look like my head belongs on my body. I'm doing this just on top of that contour, and kind of, so you kind of would envision it as like a C on your face coming in on top of that cheekbone. Next step is to brighten. So I'm going to use my brightening shade and this side. And this is where you can really create some magic. So if we go like this, I'm trying to do it right up under here. I like to brighten right in here as well. On the side of that nose, really. Now it's not blended, obviously, but do you see this? Do you see this? I'm gonna switch to this end and I'm gonna blend it in. But you guys, this, if you want that snatched face, don't skip this step. Look at that. I'm a little sweaty because it's very hot right where I'm doing this. Look how it gave that snatch. I love it. Just a little bit down the middle, my nose of my brightener, and a little right in here. All right, another key thing to creating a little bit more of a youthful appearance when it comes to like our base makeup is to use a blush that is fresh and bright and youthful. So Blush can be very scary for people, and I completely understand it. And people usually tell me that they want neutral, they want something the color of dirt because they're nervous, and I get it. But when placed properly, lightly, and effectively, you guys, it can just bring this youthful, glowy, fresh appearance to you. So do not be afraid, especially as we're in the summer and the spring, to like use a little bit of a brighter lip, a little bit of a brighter blush color. Just to show you how not afraid of color you should be, I'm going to use this. This is Pinky Promise. It's very Barbie pink. It would scare most people, I'm sure. But if you apply it with a light hand, you'll see. So I'm just tapping it right along here. Of your contour, you have your bronzer, okay? It's definitely on top of the contour. It's going on top of that bronzing shade as well, but it's okay if it goes like over it. Do you see that placement? And then I'm just gonna take my brush and press it in. And it's just very fresh and very, very youthful. So do not be afraid to use these lighter, brighter colors. Just don't use them heavy. If you don't use them heavy, they are not scary. See, it's just soft and fresh. And sweating here in my dining room. I do want to set my face a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to set your face. I prefer that you don't use a lot of powder, and if you don't need powder, don't use it at all. But I'm feeling a little shiny. It is very hot in my dining room right now. The sun is coming in, giving me fabulous lighting, but making me so wet. So I'm going to use this brush. This is called the wash brush. Just use anything that is loose. You just don't want it to be something dense and impact, like you just don't want to use a compact, dense brush, just something loose. So I'm going to use this brush, and I'm tapping into Vanilla Dust, and I'm even going to tap that off, and I'm just going to, see, press into those areas that I'm feeling shiny, which is mostly the T-zone. We don't want to get carried away and be doing the whole face, okay? Because powder really can like suck the youthful glow right out of you. I'm serious. But people don't want to look shiny either, and I totally get that. So just lightly tapping in to these shiny areas makes all the difference in the world. It really does. My last little tip to keep us looking youthful is to use a little bit of illuminator. This is Nova, and I'm just gonna press it on a few key places, like right here. See, I'll highlight that Cupid's bow. Nova's great in the summer because it has this little bronzy tinge to it. Just gives you a little bit of a glow. You do not want to overdo it with a actual highlighter like Nova. If you have fine lines that are rolling into your cheeks, you don't want to use a heavy, sparkly highlighter because you don't want to put it somewhere that you are drawing attention to, right? You don't want to, like, anywhere you're putting shimmer and a little glow, you are highlighting it, literally highlighting it. You are like focusing it, you are showcasing it. So if you have fine lines that are rolling out here, don't use it because you're just saying like, look at all these, look at this, look at this. You can use it here, you can use it on your nose, you can use it right here. All these beautiful places that you can really bring the focus more to the inside and the middle of your face and just overall give yourself that youthful appearance. So that was step 3. We are moving along. The final step is going to be next week, and we're going to be talking about what we can do to give that pretty little pout to our lips. Have a great week, guys.